Tonight, I want you to let the world fall away. Not the whole world, just the parts that don't belong in your mind anymore. Let the noise soften. Let the pressure loosen. Let the expectation slip off your shoulders like dust falling to the floor. You've done enough today. You've tried enough. You've carried enough. Right now, all you need to do is be here, in this room, in this moment, with your breath and your heart and the quiet space that is finally yours. Feel the bed holding you. Feel your body sinking deeper into safety. Feel the air moving through your lungs, slow and gentle. You don't have to force peace tonight. You just have to stop fighting yourself. This moment, these first few breaths, they're the beginning of something new, something softer, something truer. Because tonight, whether you see it or not, you're becoming the person you've always needed. There was someone, a lot like you, who lived many nights just like this. A quiet room, a tired body, a mind filled with thoughts that didn't know how to rest. Every night they wondered if they were failing. Every night they wondered if they were falling behind. Every night they wondered if they were becoming someone they didn't want to be. You know that feeling, don't you? That quiet panic, hidden behind a calm face. That exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much, but from feeling too much. People around them never saw the weight they carried. People rarely do. No one saw the pressure they put on themselves. No one saw the expectations crushing their chest. No one saw the moments, like this moment, when their heart whispered, "I'm tired, I'm trying, but I don't know if I'm enough." And yet, in this silence, something was happening. Growth, real growth. The kind of growth that doesn't feel like progress. The kind that feels like confusion, heaviness, stillness. The kind that feels like nothing at all. But becoming always begins in the quiet. If you look back farther than you usually let yourself, you'll notice something. You didn't start doubting yourself as an adult. You didn't start questioning your worth today. You didn't begin feeling behind overnight. These feelings, they have roots. They grew quietly inside you, years before you had the words to explain them. Maybe it was those childhood moments when you needed comfort, but no one noticed. Maybe it was the times you were hurting, and you learned to hide it so you wouldn't be a burden. Maybe it was the times you succeeded, but no one celebrated you. So eventually you stopped celebrating yourself. Or maybe it was the times you failed, and someone made you feel like failure was who you were, instead of something you simply experienced. You learned to be hard on yourself before you ever learned how to be kind to yourself. You learned to carry everything quietly before anyone taught you how to let things go. You learned to survive long before you learned how to simply live. None of this is your fault, but all of it shaped you. And tonight, you're finally letting yourself face the truth. You deserved love earlier. You deserved comfort earlier. You deserved someone to guide you through the darkness. But you didn't have that person. So now, life is slowly turning you into them. There comes a moment in every life, a moment you don't tell anyone about, a moment when the weight becomes too much to hold quietly. For the person in our story, that moment came on a night not too different from this one. They lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to swallow emotions that had been pushed down for years. Not anger, not sadness, something deeper, something harder to name. It was the feeling of carrying themselves alone for too long. It was the feeling of always being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never asks for help, the one who pretends they're fine so no one worries, the one who keeps smiling so no one looks too closely. But inside, they were exhausted. Not the kind of exhaustion sleep fixes, the kind that comes from being unseen, from feeling unheard, from being misunderstood for years. And on that quiet night, something inside them cracked, not in a destructive way, not in a dramatic way, but in a necessary way. Because sometimes you have to break open before the healing can begin. It was the first honest thought they'd had in years. And with that thought came a truth that felt both painful and freeing. I needed someone, and I never had them. Not when they were younger, not when they were learning who they were, not when they were aching silently, not when they were afraid to take the next step, not when they doubted themselves so deeply that it hurt to look in the mirror. They realized that the person they needed back then, someone gentle, someone patient, someone understanding, wasn't there. Not in the way they needed, not consistently, not safely. But instead of letting that break them, a new thought rose inside their chest. If I never had that person, maybe I'm meant to become them. It was the softest, strongest realization of their life. Healing wasn't going to come from someone else. Validation wasn't going to come from someone else. Love wasn't going to come from someone else. They were going to learn how to give it to themselves, slowly, quietly, one night at a time, just like you are doing now. Everyone talks about transformation as if it's loud, as if it's sudden, as if one day you wake up and everything is different. But real becoming, the kind that reshapes your entire life, begins in the dark. It begins on nights when you question your worth, nights when you feel behind, nights when you don't feel strong, nights when you don't even know who you're becoming. The person in our story didn't rise with confidence. They didn't suddenly become disciplined. They didn't magically understand their path. They began by accepting one simple truth. I don't want to live the way I've been living. Not miserable, not overwhelmed, not numb, not pretending. They wanted peace, purpose, direction, self-respect, a kind of inner strength that didn't rely on anyone else. And those desires, those quiet longings that only appear late at night, became the first spark of their transformation. Even though they didn't feel it at the time, their life had already begun to shift. Because the moment you admit what you truly want, your soul begins to move toward it, even if your body hasn't caught up yet, even if your life doesn't reflect it yet, even if you still feel lost. Becoming always begins before you're ready, just like it's beginning for you, right now, in the softness of this quiet night. Most people think growth happens in big moments, huge decisions, sudden changes, loud breakthroughs. But the truth is, progress almost never feels like progress. For the person in our story, their first signs of change were so small, so quiet, they almost didn't notice them. It was the way they breathed a little deeper, the way their thoughts softened just a bit, the way their heart didn't feel so heavy every single night. It was the moment they stopped blaming themselves for everything that went wrong. The moment they realized that not every feeling meant something was broken. The moment they allowed themselves to say, I'm tired, and that's okay. small things, tiny things, invisible things. But becoming is made of moments exactly like these. Moments where the pain feels a little less sharp. Moments where you feel a hint of peace. Moments where you notice the world isn't pressing on your chest quite as hard. And even though they didn't fully believe it yet, they were beginning to change, just like you are, right now, without even trying. Change never begins with motivation, not real change. Real change begins with a decision, a small, silent decision made in the privacy of your own mind. For them, it wasn't a dramatic moment. No tears, no collapse, no breakdown. It was a whisper inside themselves that said, "I'm tired of feeling this way." Not angry, not desperate, just tired. Tired of doubting themselves. Tired of shrinking. Tired of carrying guilt that never belonged to them. Tired of pretending they were fine when they weren't. And from that tiredness came something new. A quiet decision to rise. Not tomorrow, not instantly, not perfectly, but slowly, gently, patiently. A rise that comes from self-respect, not pressure. A rise that says, "I deserve to feel better than this." And that was the turning point. Not a single action, not a sudden burst of strength, just a decision. One small, quiet decision that changed the entire direction of their life. You're reaching that same point tonight. The moment where your soul whispers, "I'm ready for something better." Healing doesn't begin with confidence, it begins with honesty. The person in our story didn't wake up with a new personality. They didn't suddenly believe in themselves. They didn't magically become strong. They simply became honest. Honest about what hurt them. Honest about what shaped them. Honest about who they were trying so hard to be. Honest about the parts of themselves they were ashamed of. Honesty is not loud, it's quiet, it's tender. It's the moment you finally stop lying to yourself. And once they allowed honesty in, something opened inside them. They realized their past wasn't something to escape. It was something to understand. They realized their emotions weren't weaknesses. They were signals. They realized their struggle wasn't a failure. It was a message. You've outgrown the version of yourself you've been pretending to be. And once they understood that, the healing began, little by little, breath by breath. Not because everything got easier, but because they stopped fighting who they were. Healing always starts with acceptance, not of your circumstances, but of yourself. And tonight, you're taking that same step. There comes a moment in every journey where something shifts so deeply that you can never return to who you used to be. For the person in our story, that moment came quietly. It wasn't confidence. It wasn't pride. It wasn't a sudden burst of strength. It was recognition. Recognition of how much they had survived. Recognition of how long they had been holding themselves together. Recognition of how powerful they truly were. They looked back at their life and realized something no one had ever told them. Every painful moment gave them compassion. Every setback gave them wisdom. Every night of doubt gave them resilience. Every time they held themselves through the dark gave them strength. They weren't broken. They were forged. They weren't behind. They were being prepared. They weren't alone. They were becoming their own guide. And in that moment, they finally understood, I am becoming the person I needed when I was younger. A protector, a listener, a safe place, a source of calm, a quiet strength, a steady presence. a version of themselves built from every experience they thought would destroy them. This wasn't motivation. It wasn't hype. It was identity. Identity formed in silence. Identity formed in struggle. Identity formed in survival, just like the identity forming inside you now. There is a version of you who lives with more peace, more clarity, more self-respect, more emotional strength, more patience with themselves, more belief in their own future. This version of you isn't random. It isn't imaginary. It isn't far away. It is the natural evolution of every moment you've survived. The person you're becoming is someone who no longer begs for validation, someone who no longer settles, someone who no longer apologizes for existing, someone who no longer carries blame that isn't theirs, someone who no longer shrinks to make others comfortable. You're becoming someone who finally chooses themselves, someone who listens to their needs, someone who protects their peace, someone who rests without guilt, someone who honors their emotions, someone who speaks kindly to themselves, someone who says no when it matters, someone who says yes to the life they truly want. And here's the truth. You don't become this person all at once. You become them in small shifts, quiet realizations, slow awakenings, nights like this one. Becoming isn't loud, it isn't dramatic, it isn't sudden. Becoming happens inch by inch, breath by breath, choice by choice, moment by moment. And tonight, as you breathe a little slower, as your chest softens, as your mind quiets, you are stepping into that identity more than ever before. As you settle deeper into the warmth of your bed, as the night wraps around you like a soft blanket, let your breath guide you. You don't need to hold anything anymore. Not tonight, not the fear, not the pressure, not the overthinking, not the guilt, not the weight of who you think you should be. Tonight, you can let it all go. Breathe in, slowly, and breathe out, even slower. Feel your shoulders release their tension. Feel your jaw loosen. Feel your stomach soften. Feel the quiet entering your body like a gentle wave. You are safe here. You are held here. You are allowed to rest here. Let the thoughts drift. Let the worries fade. Let the world get softer, dimmer, quieter. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are not lost. You are becoming. You are becoming someone strong, someone calm, someone centered, someone healed, someone wise, someone whole. Let every breath pull you deeper into yourself, deeper into peace, deeper into becoming. Tonight, your mind is learning to trust you. Tonight, your heart is learning to soften. Tonight, your nervous system is learning to rest. Tonight, your future self is forming quietly in the dark. Repeat these truths gently in your mind, or let them pass through you like air. I am changing. I am softening. I am healing. I am growing. I am enough. I am becoming the person I needed. Feel the weight of your body. Feel the heaviness in your limbs. Feel the comfort rising from beneath you. Feel sleep beginning to pull at you. Slowly, gently, lovingly. There is nothing left to do. Nothing left to figure out. Nothing left to carry. You've done enough. You are enough. You can rest now. Let the night hold you. Let your breath guide you. Let sleep take you. Tomorrow you will rise a little stronger, a little clearer, a little more yourself. But for now, drift, rest, release, become. Good night. You're doing beautifully.